to the Genealogy News from Geneatopia. I'm Patty Roy, also known as Dinah Larkham in Second Life. Today is Tuesday, July 17th, 2017, and this is episode 105. Roots Magic 7.5 has been released. This is the version that will sync your tree that's stored on your desktop computer with your tree at Ancestry.com. This is a free update if you have version 7. If you would like to buy Roots Magic and you are an Ancestry subscriber, you can buy the software for only $20, and this offer is available through July 31st. To get started with the new version, you can upload your Roots Magic tree to Ancestry or download your Ancestry tree into Roots Magic. If you already have a tree on your desktop computer that you use with Roots Magic, and you also have a tree at Ancestry, you cannot merge the two. It would be too difficult to go through all the differences between the two trees, and you would have to tell the program for each person that they are the same person in Roots Magic and the Ancestry tree. You can choose what's going back and forth between Roots Magic and Ancestry. Both trees do not have to match. That way you can have some private data in your Roots Magic tree that does not get uploaded to your Ancestry tree. Roots Magic has had hints for Family Search, Find My Past, and My Heritage. Those hints display as a light bulb next to the person's name. Clicking the light bulb takes you to the site. From there you have to copy the information into Roots Magic. Ancestry hints work a little bit differently. The hints are shown in Roots Magic. You don't go to the Ancestry website. You can click on a link to bring it up on the Ancestry website if you like. For each hint, it will show the information for the hint along with the information you already have for this person. So you can decide if the hint contains new information. By clicking a button, you can add the hint information to your Roots Magic database along with a source citation. It even brings over the scanned document. Hints require that you have a tree on Ancestry. Besides record hints, you also get hints for user member trees. These should be used as guides because not all user member trees have sources for where the information came from. There is a third category of hints called photos and stories. They are really sources. They are pictures that Ancestry thinks belong to your person. You can review them and download them for your person as an attached photo. If you upload your tree from Roots Magic to Ancestry, it may take a while for the hints to appear. To get the process started, you can look at your tree on Ancestry and then the hints will begin to appear. Randy Seaver has a review of how all this works, and I'll have a link in the show notes where you can read his blog posts. Also, Roots Magic has a video about how this new feature works. Family Tree Maker 2017 has been released. It was originally scheduled for release at the end of March, but there were performance issues syncing to trees on Ancestry.com. Lots of testing has taken place between March and now, and changes have been made to the software. Ancestry and Family Tree Maker work together to get this syncing to work. There have been over 75,000 beta testers using the software to test syncing. All has finally gone well, and the software is ready for everyone to use. There are some new features in this new version besides a new way to sync to Ancestry trees. Family Search is integrated into Family Tree Maker, so you can get match suggestions from that site. The new color coding feature lets you use colors for people to place them into groups. A new tool called Photo Darkroom lets you restore old photos. And there is a better compliance to GEDCOM standards when exporting to a GEDCOM file. Another change is that if you want hints from Ancestry, your tree must be at Ancestry.com. Previously, your tree could be only on your computer and you could still get hints from Ancestry. Older versions of Family Tree Maker can no longer sync trees at Ancestry because Ancestry is now using new technology called Family Sync. With this release, both the Windows version of the program and the Mac version are made from the same codebase. That means that changes only need to be done once for both versions. Genealogist.com is a family research firm that has a team of over 4,000 professional genealogists who are located around the world. They have been acquired by Ancestor Cloud. Ancestor Cloud will be rebranded as Trace.com. Ancestor Cloud started out by offering cloud storage and sharing of genealogy documents. It evolved into a marketplace to buy and sell genealogy services. The marketplace will be moved to Genealogist.com. Trace will provide Genealogist.com clients with custom research services and provide the business with expertise in marketing, sales, customer experience, and investor relations. The Salt Lake Institute of Genealogy, or SLIG, now has a YouTube channel. Currently, there are promotional videos to view on the channel. There is also a video by Paula Stewart Warren called Taking Your Research to the Next Level. They plan to make their channel another learning resource for genealogists. 23andMe has been named one of the smartest companies for 2017 by MIT Technology Review. They got this recognition because the FDA granted them permission to tell customers whether their DNA puts them at risk for some diseases, and they have over 1 million customers who have consented to have their genetic information used for scientific research. 23andMe is running a contest called the Golden 23 Sweepstakes. To be eligible for the prize, you need to order a DNA kit by August 3rd or complete a sweepstakes entry form online. If you win as a result of completing the online form, you will need to take a DNA test with 23andMe. A winner will be drawn each day for 23 days. The winners will receive a trip package valued at up to $20,000, which includes accommodations for 5 nights, round-trip airfare for the winner and one guest, a custom itinerary by GoJourney.com to explore the local life, and some spending money. Your destination for your trip will be based on your 23andMe Ancestry composition results. Ancestry DNA has announced changes for activating kits. This will go into effect on July 18th. In the past, you had been able to add multiple kits to your own DNA account. The person that took the test does not have full control of their own DNA, and Ancestry DNA is afraid that there is a potential for misuse. Starting on July 18th, anyone who takes a DNA test will be required to have their own Ancestry account. When they log into their account, they can choose to assign sharing roles to other people. If they decide to give someone else manager status, they will have full access to the account just as they did when they were the one who managed all the accounts. Also, all messages sent to the test taker will go to the manager of the account. If the test taker is a relative of yours, you can attach their kit to your tree. This way, the test taker can have a free account, and the manager with a paid account will see all the hints and matches. This new system means that the person who is taking the test will have access to their own data and decide who else has access to it. You can still set up an account for another person and manage it for them. You just need to follow the genetic genealogy standards and get the test taker's consent to manage their account. These changes have been in effect at Family Tree DNA. They require each customer to have their own account. You can now access the new Find a Grave website. This new version is a beta version. You can get there by going to the website and then clicking the link that is displayed with a yellow background, and it says, "Changes are coming to Find a Grave. See a preview now." Or you can go to new.findagrave.com. The new site will be more secure, have improved performance and speed, and support multiple devices in other languages. Any changes that you make at the new site will affect existing memorials, and they will be permanent. Some new features are that you can now search by town or city in countries other than the United States. At the old site, you could narrow down your location by country, but only the U.S. had the ability to narrow down by state. The new upload tool allows you to add a group of headstone photos, and you can preview, rotate, and delete images that you upload. Ancestry acquired Find a Grave in 2013 and had announced plans for a new and improved website. Now for some new records at Family Search. This first collection is a new indexed record collection for New York City Marriage Licenses Index 1950 to 1995. Some new browsable images collections include Italy, Chiti, Civil Registration State Archive, 1866 to 1930. Italy, Macerata, Civil Registration State Archive, 1808 to 1814. And Kansas State Censuses for the years 1865, 1875, 1885, and 1895. The following is a new indexed records and images collection for Ireland Civil Registration, 1845 to 1913. Next, these collections have indexed records added to an existing collection. Argentina, Mendoza Catholic Church Records, 1665 to 1975. Austria, Upper Austria, Linz Death Certificates, 1818 to 1899. Belgium, Limburg Civil Registration, 1798 to 1906. Belgium, Namur Civil Registration, 1800 to 1912. Bolivia Catholic Church Records, 1566 to 1966. Brazil, Pernambuco Civil Registration, 1804 to 2014. Brazil, Piauí Civil Registration, 1875 to 2013. Chile Civil Registration, 1885 to 1903. Dominican Republic, civil registration, 1801 to 2010. England, Cambridgeshire Bishops' Transcripts, 1599 to 1860. Find a Grave Index. France, Cotenses et d'Arvici Diocese, can't pronounce that at all. The Catholic Parish Records, 1533 to 1894. Hawaii Obituaries Index, 1980 to the present. Netherlands Archival Indexes, Miscellaneous Records. New Jersey State Census, 1895. Nicaragua Civil Registration, 1809 to 2013. Ohio Crawford County Obituaries, 1860 to 2004. Panama Catholic Church Records, 1707 to 1973. Peru Amazonas Civil Registration, 1939 to 1998. Peru Cajamarca Civil Registration, 1938 to 1996. Philippines Civil Registration Local, 1888 to 1986. Scotland Church Records and Kirk Session Records, 1658 to 1919. South Africa Transvaal Probate Records from the Master of the Supreme Court, 1869 to 1958. And United States Passport Applications, 1795 to 1925. So those were collections that have index records added to an existing collection. Next, collections have had index records and images added to an existing collection. That would be the Billion Graves Index and Louisiana Deaths, 1850 to 1875 and 1894 to 1960. These next collections have added images to an existing collection. New York State Census, 1905. Russia Samara Church Books, 1779 to 1923. And United States Rosters of Revolutionary War Soldiers and Sailors, 1775 to 1783. Family Search has released its web-based indexing program. You can find it at familysearch.org by clicking on the indexing link at the top. From there, you can click on Web Indexing or find a project. Both links will let you select a batch of records to index. Batches are groups of images that can be indexed in about 10 or 20 minutes. Different projects are available for the web version and for the desktop version of indexing. The web version has a simpler interface and has fewer features than the desktop version. Eventually, more features will be added to the web version. Eventually, the desktop version will be phased out. The web version will allow anyone to index from their phone, tablet, or desktop computer, and will let people index from wherever they are since they can use their phone. Find My Past has added the Canadian census for the years 1861 and 1871. They've also added lots of records for Yorkshire. This includes bishops' transcripts, baptisms, banns, marriages, and burials. London marriage licenses for the years 1521 to 1869 have been added, and more than 130,000 Wiltshire wills and probate records have been added. Over 121,000 new Roman Catholic parish records have been added. Those include the England Roman Catholic parish baptisms, marriages, burials, and congregational records. They've added the Catholic Standard to the collection of Irish newspapers. Some other Irish records that have been added are the Dublin City Ordnance Survey Map for 1847 and 68 illustrated early Irish maps for the years 1558 to 1610. Each quarter they update Percy. Percy is the periodical source index, and it contains an index to genealogy and local history periodical articles that have been published. They are working to also get scanned images of the actual articles online. They've added over 28,000 new articles that cover Ontario, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Missouri, Michigan, and Rhode Island. The Genealogist, a subscription site in the UK, has released over 1.3 million parish records for Northumberland. The records are indexed and go back to 1560. Some diaries written by women in Great Britain during the Second World War are now available online. They were written from 1938 to 1942 for more than 1,300 different cities, towns, and villages. They record the work of the Women's Voluntary Services during the war. Topics range from sewing and cooking to extinguishing bombs and driving during blackouts. All the diaries are handwritten, and they are not full-text searchable. You can search by place name. Individuals are rarely mentioned, so these diaries can be used to understand what was going on during wartime. Also available from the Women's Voluntary Services is their bulletin magazine that was produced monthly for 36 years. There are over 400 issues that are available online. The New England Historic Genealogical Society, or NEHGS, and the General Society of Mayflower Descendants, or GSMD, have announced a collaboration between the two societies. NEHGS members will have access to some new searchable databases that will be found on AmericanAncestors.org. GSMD members will get discounts on new memberships to NEHGS. The Mayflower Families Through 5 Generations series of books are also known as the Silver Books. They contain information about the first 5 generations of descendants of Mayflower passengers who arrived in 1620. The 5th generation portion of these books will be available online at AmericanAncestors.org. NEHGS will index the content that has been published in the first 50 years of the Mayflower Quarterly, a journal of Pilgrim history and genealogy in colonial New England. These were published between 1935 and 1984. The United States Holocaust Memorial Museum has recently completed a very successful Kickstarter campaign. The money raised will be used to catalog and digitize more than 200 diaries in the museum's collection. More than 5,500 people pledged money that exceeded the goal of $250,000 for the campaign. The money will help to make the voices of the survivors and victims of the Holocaust to be heard. Diaries can reveal some very intimate and heart-wrenching accounts of the Holocaust. 3 diaries will be translated into English. There was another Kickstarter campaign with a goal of $50,000 to translate 10 more diaries into English, and that goal was met. Now a total of 13 diaries will be translated and transcribed. The Library of Congress has put online its first installment of a major oral history project that documents the diverse culture of contemporary workers around the United States. This first installment is a collection of interviews from the Port of Houston. Each interview lasts from 50 to 60 minutes. It features interviews that were recorded during 2011 to 2012. The interviews document river pilots, marine fighters, longshoremen, tugboat operators, port engineers, union organizers, owners of port-related businesses, and other workers at the port. Along with the interviews, there are digitized field notes and photographs. Other projects should be available online by the year's end include interviews with hairdressers and beauty shop owners, big top circus workers, home health care workers in Oregon and New York, iron workers in the upper Midwest, and workers in the National Park Service. The Louisiana State Museum is completing the digitization of its colonial documents collection. In a few months, this collection will be available online. In the collection, there are criminal and civil court cases, commercial transactions, successions, wills, and other legal documents that date back to 1714. These documents were handwritten in French and Spanish. The documents document Louisiana's colonial era and includes things such as sales of enslaved people as well as real estate, disputes between families and neighbors, and they also reveal the social and commercial underpinnings of the colony. There are stories that document the daily life of Louisiana's first settlers and their relations with native tribes. The Newberry Library in Chicago has completed digitizing more than 30,000 French Revolution pamphlets and placed them online. These pamphlets were published between 1780 and 1810. They contain the political, social, and religious history of the French Revolution. In the pamphlets, there is a representation of opinions from all factions that opposed and defended the monarchy during the turbulent period from 1789 to 1799. They also chronicle the events of the First Republic. The pamphlets come from 2 collections, the French Revolution Collection and the Louis XVI Trial and Execution Collection. The city of Tampa, Florida, will be releasing 2 new digitized historic photographic collections to the public. The first collection comes from the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce, and it contains images of events in Tampa from 1950 to 1990. There are many photographs of local elected officials and other dignitaries in this collection. The other collection includes more than 50,000 images taken by local photographers from 1940 until 1990. They capture many life events such as graduations and weddings, as well as some scenes from daily life in Tampa. Both collections are currently in process of being digitized, and they are being added to online daily. You can find them online at the Hillsborough County Public Library website. The North Carolina website, Digital NC, continues to add more collections. Recent additions include photographs from the Benson Museum of Local History, the 1967 yearbook from Benson High School, the 1963 New Hope High School yearbook, various yearbooks from Burke County, 5 more yearbooks from Mars Hill University for the years 2012 to 2016, and yearbooks from the University of North Carolina School of the Arts for the years 1971 to 2016. The Montgomery Times newspaper from Maryland is now available at the Digital Archive of the Montgomery County Public Library's website. This newspaper was a local African newspaper for the area. It began publication in 1992 and was combined with the Prince George Times in 1999. The paper ran until 2002. The first 7 years of the newspaper are available online, and that would be for the years from 1992 to 1999. The Digital Library of Georgia has a brand new website that features historic newspapers from around the state. The newspapers are full-text searchable, and they can be browsed by date and title. Some new features include essays about publishing history of various newspaper titles, browsing by region, and browsing by types. The types would include community papers, papers of record, African American papers, religious papers, school papers, and Native American papers. All previously digitized newspapers will eventually be incorporated into the new platform. The Library and Archives Canada has released their monthly report about the digitization of the Canadian Expeditionary Force personnel service files. They are now up to the name of PILKEY, P-I-L-K-E-Y. These service files are for soldiers of the First World War. They are digitizing the files basically in alphabetical order. They are now 72% complete and on schedule to have the whole project completed by November 2018. The creator and webmaster of the Canadian Gravemarker Gallery website has decided to retire. All the photos that were on this website will continue to be available at the Canada GenWeb's Cemetery Project website. There are over 2 million photos of Canadian cemeteries that were taken by volunteers across the country over the last 20 years. They will slowly be moved over to the Canada GenWeb's Cemetery Project website. You can check their blog or Facebook page to find out the status of the photos. Starting on July 31st, if you go to the gravemarkers.ca website, you will be redirected to the website for the Canadian GenWeb's Cemetery Project. The Bibliothèque et Archives Nationales du Québec, or BANQ, has received a collection of postcards that depict scenes of Montreal from the late 19th century to the 1960s. The postcards not only show tourist attractions and architecture, but they also show scenes of everyday life in Montreal. The postcards will be processed and digitized and will gradually be made available online. The magazine The Australian Photo Review is now available online at Trove. Trove is the website for the National Library of Australia. The first edition of the magazine was published in January 1894. The magazine contains practical advice on technical processes, descriptions from the latest meetings of the Australian Photographic Societies, and examples of contemporary work. The last issue appeared in 1956. All issues have been digitized and they are fully searchable. The government in Finland plans to digitize its document archive by 2030. In the future, it will only accept digital formats. Once the documents have been digitized, the original ones will be destroyed. This should save the government millions of euros and make the information easier to access. Searches are much easier in a digital format, and artificial intelligence can be used to make new connections from the material. Family Tree Webinars has announced a subscriber summer spectacular. They already have members-only content, but this summer they will have full, in-depth series for members. There will be 5 series that will be released every 2 weeks throughout the summer. Available now are 4 classes from archivist Melissa Barker about researching in archives. Also available are 5 classes from Blaine Bettinger on DNA. Then there will be 5 classes about Texas from Terry Flack. There will be 3 classes about the census from Amy Bowser-Tennant. Then there will be 6 classes about photo restoration with Eric Baser. And the last set of classes will be 5 classes about the Revolutionary War with Craig Scott. The Federation of Genealogical Societies, or FGS, will be having a webinar the 3rd Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. Eastern. They are calling this their Society Management Webinar Series, and the first one will be on July 20th. The first webinar will be a presentation by Fred Moss about the Open Death Record Initiative. Fred Moss is a member of the Records Preservation and Access Committee. The August session will feature David Rencher, the Chief Genealogical Officer for Family Search. He'll be talking about the Nominating Committee. The PBS show Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates, Jr. will be starting its 3rd season on October 3rd. The guest celebrities who will be finding about their family trees include Aziz Ansara, Scarlett Johansson, Larry David, Garrison Keillor, Amy Schumer, Ted Danson, William H. Macy, Mary Steenburgen, Anna Navarro, Christopher Walken, Ava DuVernay, Bryant Gumbel, and others. Be sure to check out the calendar at Geneatopia.com for webinars coming up. And while you're there, consider making a donation to help defray the cost of the podcast. The calendar also has all the Google Hangouts that are scheduled, events going on in Second Life, and online events that you pay for. And that's it for this episode. You can send Gmail or email, whatever, at my Gmail address, geneatopia@gmail.com. You can find links to things mentioned in this show in the show notes at geneatopia.com, as well as a transcript. The transcript can also be found at the Geneatopia Flipboard magazine, and you can find the recording on YouTube. This is episode 105. Thanks for listening.